Studio Classroom is here for you. It helps you in all you do. It helps you know you do. So tune in and now enjoy the fun. Join us now, enjoy the show.
Hello everyone, my name is Garrett, and today is a great day to learn something new.
So let's do that together. My name is Anne-Marie.
And this is Studio Classroom. Friends, what are you wearing today? How long have you had those clothes? Sometimes our clothes are sitting around for a long time. We don't want to wear them anymore, so what do we do with them? That's our topic for today, and here's our opening question. What do you usually do with your old clothes?
This is a great thing for us to talk about, especially as we are trying to be more environmentally friendly. For me, when I have old clothes that I'm not wearing anymore, it really depends what kind of condition they are in. If they are still in really good condition, there's no rips or stains or tears in them, I try to find someone else who could use them and wear them. But if it's something that's very stained and dirty and worn out, I like that we have recycling bins around the city to put our old clothes in.
That's a good point. I think I usually wear my clothes until they have big rips and holes in them. I'll even wear them sometimes with some stains in them.
Okay, I think I maybe have seen you wear something with a tear in it before, but if it's something that you love, it can be hard to get rid of. But there's another option, friends. Today we are going to be talking about the benefits of upcycling clothing. This is going to be a very interesting lesson. Let's get right into it.
The benefits of upcycling clothing, turning trash into treasure. Do you have a closet full of clothes that you no longer wear but are worried about throwing away? If so, you're not alone.
Hi everyone, welcome to Language Lab. I'm Jack. 首先来看名词 closet， 意思是衣柜或者壁橱。来看例句 ：During their games of hide and seek, Juliana's favorite hiding spot was in the closet. 在捉迷藏游戏时 ，Juliana 最喜欢藏的地方就是衣橱，或者是 Could you help me install this closet organizer so I can use the space more efficiently? 你能帮我安装这个衣橱收纳架吗？这样我就可以更有效率的利用空间。来学一个相关的名词 walk-in closet， 就是指步入式的衣帽间。譬如 I've always dreamed of having a walk-in closet with a seating area in the middle, like the ones wealthy people have in movies. 我一直梦想拥有一个步入式的衣帽间，中间有一个座位区，就像电影里有钱人家的那种。
All right, friends, well, our title today is The Benefits of Upcycling Clothing. Now, that word upcycling sounds a lot like recycling, and there's a reason.
That's right. Here we see in our article, turning trash into treasure. This reminds me of the phrase, one man's trash is another one's treasure. Some things that we consider to be trash, other people might find useful.
Exactly. So how can we make our old clothes useful again, sometimes in a new way? Let's get into it. Do you have a closet full of clothes that you no longer wear?
Okay, I know I have a few things that I no longer wear. This word no longer means not anymore. You used to wear it, but now you don't.
Right. I certainly have some clothes that just don't fit me anymore, but I have kept them for a little too long. It might be a good idea for me to donate them.
Yes, that is a good plan. Or you could upcycle them. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. But first, let's talk about to throw something away. If you throw something away, it means you dispose of it. You put it in the trash can. You're not going to use it anymore.
Yeah, like you will throw away your trash after you're done eating out. Well, friends, you might want to throw away clothes you're not using anymore, but there are other options.
That's right. And here we see you're not alone. This is a great phrase for you to know, friends. This means that others have the same feeling or others have the same experience as you.
Yeah, you might not think about it, but if you're feeling nervous on stage, you're not alone. Many people feel the same way.
That's a really good point. All right, friends, we're going to learn about upcycling in just a moment, so let's go to our next reading.
The Benefits of Upcycling Clothing. In an age where sustainability and reducing waste are major concerns, upcycling clothing has emerged as one possible solution. It offers many benefits, including a unique way to breathe new life into old garments. It also presents many advantages for the environment and the individual.
"接下来看 advantage 这个名词，意思是优势或是好处。譬如 One advantage of living in the city is the convenience of its transit system. 生活在城市的一大优势是有便捷的交通系统。Advantage 的反义字是在字首加上 dis 变成 disadvantage， 意思是劣势或是缺点。譬如 Although she was at a disadvantage in basketball due to her height, she was quick and able to hold her own on the court. 由于身高的原因，她在打篮球方面处于劣势，但是她的动作敏捷，仍然能在场上独当一面。Advantage 的形容词是 advantageous， 意思是有利的、有益的。譬如Having dual citizenship is advantageous for investment purposes, though double taxation can be a risk depending on the countries involved. 拥有双重国籍有利于投资，但双重课税可能会带来风险，取决于所涉及的国家。
So I am a fan of donating my old clothes I am not wearing anymore. But that's not what we're talking about today as we talk about upcycling.
That's right, because what we're going to focus on today is the idea of sustainability. You'll see that word in this next sentence. Sustainability is the ability to be maintained at a certain rate or level.
Yeah, recycling things helps promote sustainability. Think about recycling old soda cans. That helps us reuse those same materials without using new metal that's dug out of the ground.
Exactly. Let's read here in our article. In an age where sustainability and reducing waste are major concerns, upcycling clothing has emerged as one possible solution. What does it mean if something is a major concern?
Well, the word major means big or great. And so major concerns are really big worries that you have. They're the most important things that you're concerned with.
Exactly. Climate change is one of today's major concerns. It's a big problem that everyone is thinking about. And here, of course, we're talking about sustainability and reducing waste as our major concerns. But upcycling clothing has emerged. What does it mean if something has emerged?
Well, if something emerges, it comes into view or comes into the thinking of people. It's something that comes out.
Okay, here's an example of how you could use emerged in a sentence. A new leader emerged after the election. So that means that a new leader was there. A new leader is seen.
They become present now, and now they are the leader. Well, that is just like upcycling. It has now emerged as a possible solution. It offers many benefits, including a unique way to breathe new life into old garments.
To breathe new life into something. This is a great phrase for you to know, friends. This means to refresh something or to improve it. Maybe it wasn't very good or it was getting old, but when you breathe new life into it, it becomes something new or it becomes usable again.
There might be some old furniture at a secondhand store. Then an artist buys it and completely renews it. They breathe new life into that old furniture and make it beautiful again.
That's right. We read here it also presents many advantages for the environment and the individual. Advantages is a great word for you to know, friends, as you saw it in your language lab today. And we still haven't gotten to the definition of upcycling, but we are hearing about a lot of its benefits. It benefits the environment and the individual as well.
Right, just like recycling, it sounds like we're not using new materials, we're making use of things that we already have, and that's great for sustainability. Well, before we continue, it's time for us to go and watch today's Info Cloud.
Hello everyone, welcome to InfoCloud. Garrett, do you remember that old chair I was going to toss out?
Oh, right. But instead of throwing it away, you turned it into something amazing.
I repainted it, added new cushions, and now it's the most comfortable chair in my house. I really gave it a second life.
Hey, that's a great phrase. Let's talk about it today.
Good idea. When you give something a second life, you take something old, broken, or unused and find a way to make it useful or valuable again.
Exactly. It's not just about furniture. People repurpose jars into plant holders, turn worn-out clothes into cleaning rags, and even use old electronics for parts.
It's also a great way to be environmentally friendly. Instead of throwing things away, you extend their use. Friends, think about how you can give something a second life before discarding it. You might be surprised by your creativity.
And who knows, you might end up with something better than the original. Try giving something a second life.
资源回收已经是现代人生活中的一部分。今天跟大家分享的用语是 give something a second life。字面上是赋予某样东西第二次的生命，让它再次变得有价值。例如，将旧衣服变成抹布，或是你重新粉刷一张旧椅子，让它看起来像新的一样，你就可以说 I gave it a second life。我让它再一次有价值了。你也可以把淘汰的电子产品拿来当做某种零件，这也是环保的好方法。这就是今天的 InfoCloud， 下次云端见。
The benefits of upcycling clothing. Upcycling is taking something old that might have ended up in a landfill and transforming it into something new. Laura Wittig, founder of the sustainable online platform Brightly, says upcycling is one of the best things for the planet. It's reported that a piece of clothing is only worn 7 to 10 times before it is tossed. But what if people started thinking of new ways to use old clothing, rather than throwing it away? That would keep clothes out of landfills, reducing their environmental impact. In addition, upcycling clothes encourages you to display your creative side. Instead of following the latest trends, upcycled pieces express your personal style, resulting in designs that are one of a kind.
"今天的 usage tip 要来看 "It's reported that" 的句型，意思是据说或据报道，用来转述他人的看法。 它呢会以虚主词 it 来开头，然后将所引述的内容放在后面 that 子句中，以避免一开始就写出冗长的转述，让句子变得拗口。在本句中，被动态的动词 reported 也可以替换为 believed、said 或是 rumored。来看例句。It's rumored that the company will lay off hundreds of employees next month. 据传，这家公司下个月将会裁员数百人。
All right, we are finally there, everyone. It's time to talk about what upcycling really is.
That's right, and maybe you've guessed it already, but just in case, let's see what our article has to say. Upcycling is taking something old that might have ended up in a landfill and transforming it into something new. We have a couple of great terms we want to look at in this sentence. First, let's talk about the idea of something ending up somewhere else.
Well, this phrase is all about that word end. Where is something in the end? If something ends up as something, it results in something often unexpected.
That's right. Here's an example of how you could use ended up in a sentence. We ended up staying longer than planned. Maybe you went to a party and you planned to leave by 9 p.m., but you ended up leaving at 10 p.m. That was unexpected.
Exactly. Well, many of these clothes would have ended up in a landfill. Now, a landfill is a place where much of our trash goes, especially in the United States. I think here where we live now, things are a little different, but a landfill is a place where people will bury that trash underground and cover it, although it's a little more complicated than that.
Exactly. Here's an example of how you could use that word landfill in a sentence. The city is working to reduce landfill waste. The problem with the landfill is oftentimes trash just goes there and stays there. It's not being recycled, it's not being burned or anything like that. It just sits there.
Yeah, they try to keep any of the bad chemicals in the trash from going out of the landfill, but they take up a lot of space. And our trash only keeps increasing. So upcycling can help. We hear here Laura Wittig, founder of the sustainable online platform Brightly, says, upcycling is one of the best things for the planet.
All right, I'm curious why this is true. Let's keep reading with this next sentence. It's reported that a piece of clothing is only worn 7 to 10 times before tossing it. This is a statistic I think you've heard before on this program, friends. People oftentimes only wear a piece of clothing 7 to 10 times before they stop wearing it. They might even throw it away. Now, we have this word tossing here, and that's exactly what it means in this situation. Tossing something means to put it in the garbage or to throw it away. Sometimes tossing can mean just to throw something carelessly as well.
Right. You might toss a ball around with your friends. Or here, you toss your papers into the trash can. So I definitely think that statistic is wild for me. I wear my clothes way more than that.
I do as well, but I think the issue is with fast fashion and consumerism, people feel the need to buy more than what they actually need, and then they get tired of the trends, especially after they've already passed. We read here, but what if people started thinking of new ways to use old clothing rather than throwing it away?
Well, that's a good idea. That would keep clothes out of landfills, reducing their environmental impact. Now, the impact that something has is the effect that it has on other things.
Here's an example. Pollution has a negative impact on the environment. Because of pollution, the environment suffers.
Right. It has a negative impact. Well, in addition, upcycling clothes encourages you to display your creative side.
Ah, very interesting. This word creative means to have an original idea or to have a very vivid imagination and a lot of ideas in general.
Right. You might say the artist is very creative with her work and uses paints that no one else does.
All right, well, we read on here, instead of following the latest trends, upcycled pieces express your personal style, resulting in designs that are one of a kind.
One of a kind. Something that is one of a kind is unique or special. It's not like other things.
For example, maybe you have some jewelry that is one of a kind. That could be because you made it yourself or because you bought it from an artist who didn't make a lot of the same pieces.
Right. When you buy something at a store, you're buying something that's been copied over and over again, often at a factory. Whereas if you make something yourself, there's nothing else like it.
Right, and according to Laura here, if you're upcycling your clothing, it can help you express your personal style. Now, Garrett, we haven't actually seen how to do this yet, have we?
No, we have kind of a definition of upcycling. You're taking your clothes, changing them in some way, and making them unique and usable again. You're breathing a new life into them, but we don't know how to do that.
I think this is something we're going to talk about in tomorrow's lesson, so make sure you come back for that, friends. First, let's go to today's fun fact.
Hello, fact friends. I am Detective Ernest Finder, and I have a fun fact for you today. Did you know that here is an upcycling idea? Turn old pants into a bag. Just sew up the ends of the pants. It's true. I've seen people do it. But why would you turn pants into a bag? You can carry your stuff. People will take pictures of you. Your friends will not bother you or hang out with you. And that's today's fun upcycling fact.
All right, friends, like we said, we've talked about what upcycling is, but not yet on what to do or how to do it. And we want to ask before we finish, are you interested in upcycling your clothes based on what we talked about today?
Okay, well, based on what we talked about today, upcycling is a way to promote sustainability and to help the environment. So without knowing exactly how to upcycle my clothes, it sounds like a great idea. But I would be very interested to find out how much work I would have to put into it.
Right. I think sometimes I just want to donate my clothes. I don't want to put that much effort into it. It's not like I'm wasting my clothes. I've worn them for years.
Yes, exactly. I'm curious to see what suggestions our article has tomorrow. All right, friends, that's all the time we have for today. My name is Anne-Marie.
And my name is Garrett. We'll see you again tomorrow, right here on
Studio Classroom.
Goodbye.
Right by your side, truly a friend for life. A friend loves at all times. A friend helps at all times. A friend trusts at all times. A good friend lasts a lifetime. A friend gives at all times. A friend cares at all times. A friend endures at all times. A good friend lasts a lifetime. I am so proud to have you in my life. A good friend lasts a lifetime.